Now, the Youth Wage Subsidy is attracting enormous uptake among business. Listed employment agency Adcorp says the scheme has so far created more than 120,000 jobs. The scheme came into effect in January this year. It gives companies employing young people a tax break.
Business has embraced the employment tax incentive scheme. Adcorp says it's the first realistic scheme to address youth unemployment. It says if the scheme is extended, it could create close to 1 million more jobs for young South Africans.
Our calculations suggest about 127,000 jobs have been created under the scheme in the first 4 months of this year. So it is a very significant incentive, and we're expecting that if the minister extends it to a 10-year period, it will create 852,000 jobs.
Manufacturing, retail and wholesale trade, transport and communication sectors have shown interest in the scheme. The subsidy applies to workers earning less than 6,000 rands per month, but it's unclear what impact it will have on the overall unemployment rate and tax revenues in the long run.
The economy needs to grow 4% per annum just to absorb all the matriculants and other school leavers leaving the schooling system each year.
We will certainly see an impact on youth unemployment, but the extent to which it impacts the overall employment number of 25% is the question that hangs over our economy right now. We certainly expect to see that number decline, but whether that decline will be significant remains to be tested.
While business is enthusiastic over the scheme, COSATU remains opposed.
Of course business like it. They're going to get a huge amount of money in the form of a tax rebate for doing basically nothing. So of course they're very happy.
COSATU says it will result in older workers losing their jobs simply because it's cheaper to employ the youth. But Sharp says unionism is declining around the world, especially amongst the youth. He argues this represents competition for union interests.
Youth are very different today from youth even 10 years ago because of these generational attitudes. They're much more selfish, they're much more self-absorbed, they're much more confident, they're much more aspirational, and that personality profile doesn't fit very easily with the classic member of 20 years ago.
The World Economic Forum's 2014 Global Risk Report shows South Africa has the third highest unemployment rate in the world for people between the ages of 15 and 24. And while a tug of war between business and labor about the Youth Wage Subsidy scheme persists, it's ultimately economic growth figures that will measure the true impact of the scheme. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.